Again, good evening, church. So I'm going to be, since it's mostly for the youth and they mostly speak English, I'm going to be speaking English most of the time. Okay, so our presentation is about Black history and Haiti. You cannot talk about Black and the importance of Black and not talking about Haiti, the importance of Haiti for what Black means in the world. You know, you cannot talk about freedom and not talking about Haiti. It's just impossible, especially in the history of Earth. There is no way you can talk about freedom, talk about blackness, and not talking about Haiti. Haiti is un petit pays, like 27,750 kilomètres carrés. Like North Carolina can be like 9 times Haiti. So you see, Haiti is small, like about 12 million people. North Carolina again, 10 point something million people. But the importance of Haiti in the world is something you can, ou pas jamais ka diminuer importance Haiti dans le monde. It's important. Now, if we're talking about one, before I jump into the history, I want to talk about one Haitian American who contributed to Chicago. Now, Jean-Baptiste Point du Sable, his name, he was one of the first permanent residents of Chicago, and he is considered as the founder of Chicago. Jean-Baptiste Point du Sable, he is the son of a Haitian father, an African-born slave mother. Like in 1784, he created several buildings and infrastructure that steadily flourished into major trading center. Now, you see, we're talking about Chicago. Now, you guys know Illinois, the city of Chicago. The founder of Chicago is considered to be Jean-Baptiste Point du Sable, a Haitian man. So tout ça pour montrer the contribution of Haitian in this country. Let's dive even further. If we talk about the participation of Haitians in the U.S. war, like 24 years, about 25 years before the independence of Haiti, there were 800 like men, like among them 545 blacks and some mulattoes. They went here, they fight side by side with the soldiers of George Washington. So Haitians participated in the Battle of Savannah in 1779. Among the Haitians who rendered service, qui étaient là, qui étaient gourmets pour nous, c'était André, Beauvais, Rigaud, Villat, Beauregard, Lambert, et puis il y a pile l'autre monde encore, inclus Henri Christophe, qui lui-même devient the king of Haiti in the 1800s. The Haitian legend was commended by Vicomte de Fontage. You parlez de Fontage, Monsieur Fontage. They saved the Frank-American army from total disaster. You guys know about the history of Haiti. In 1804, we took our independence. We get freedom from the French, not only from the French, but also from Britain and also Spain. Because these 3 countries, they were the countries that were actually leading in terms of slavery in the world, you know. And January 1st is the day that Haiti proclaimed herself to be free, an independent nation. And it was a bloody battle, but we won. We won. Haiti boldly entered into human history by doing the unthinkable. This little nation. Do you know Haitians? They used to be in the Atlantic Ocean. They used to just stay there and wait for slave boats. Whenever the boats, you know, they used to take slave from Africa, the continent African, and to get all the way to, let me have this, a map here. They used to get slave from the African continent and bring the slave to the, North America and also the Caribbean. In the Atlantic Ocean, Haitians used to stay there in their boats and wait for slave boats. You know, depuis qu'il y a un bateau qui passe avec esclaves là-dedans, prend yo, bat moun sa yo, libérer esclaves. You see, they used to be strong. They used to be strong. And that's one of the reasons why Haiti has all the problems that Haiti has, you know, because Haiti represented freedom for the world. Now, if we can look at Haiti's freedom in 5 ways. Haiti has expended the limits of freedom, and we are reaping the benefits. All black in the world are reaping the benefit of what Haiti did. Now, if you look at if we think about the American Declaration of Independence in 1776, and also the French Declaration of Independence in 1789, they talk about freedom. But they never actually put that freedom that they were talking about into place. But Haiti, in a sense, dictated the world what freedom means. And these Haitian men, they understood the concept of freedom more than all these other people who were claiming human rights. And Haiti challenged conventional understanding of equality, liberty, freedom. And we are all here because of what those Haitian men had done. And the second thing is that the Haitian Revolution was the beginning of the end of the transatlantic slave trade. And Haiti took its independence in 1804, but 3 years later, the transatlantic slave trade was abolished in Britain. So, you know, they used to be buying slaves from Africa, bring them to Europe, everywhere, to work. But because of what Haiti had done, they had stopped that. You know, this is a big victory for the world. And do you know the UN commemorated Haiti's instrumental role in ending slave trade by adopting August 23rd as the official international day for the remembrance of slaves. But do you know why they do that on August 23rd? Because on the night of August 22nd to 23rd, the Haitian Revolution began. Yeah, that's why they do it on that day. Now, the third reason why Haiti is important for the world is because Haiti is the reason for the Louisiana Purchase. Now, the Louisiana Purchase that they're talking about is région Louisiana, ça a été gagné. It's like, c'est comme si on divisait map là en 3 grandes parties. Dans mi-temps États-Unis, côté il y a environ 12 states qui dans mid États-Unis, toutes states ça yo net, yo été acheté par la France. So France they purchase tout état ça yo nommé Angleterre. Now, tout ça était pour France l'été. Now, what happened was that just when there was this war between Haiti, que était relé à l'époque Saint-Domingue, and France, Napoléon, qui lui-même qui était en tête la France, il pas voulait vendre Louisiana. Il pas voulait vendre espace ça pour te bail parce que il était un plan avec. He wanted to do something with that space because they wanted to build a big empire. Now what happened was that as they realized that they were losing the war, they needed money, so they made a very cheap bargain where they sell the Louisiana territory for less than 3 cents per acre. 3 cents per acre. This was a very cheap deal because they were losing the war. They needed money because they wanted to get Haiti because Haiti was more profitable for them. Haiti was contributing like 60% of all the coffee in the world was coming from Haiti. 40% of all the sugar in the world was coming from Haiti. So this little colony was so profitable when he realized that he was losing the war against Haiti. So he said, you know what, let me just focus on just Haiti. Getting Haiti is more important for me than this Louisiana. Let me sell that. So he sell the territory, and that's why the U.S. now has this big territory. So you guys know it means a lot. This is more than the space that we're talking about. I should have given it to Parnell so you could see it. That space was very big. You want to see? Yes, yes, yes. This portion, yes, from Louisiana all the way to Canada. Hmm. Yes, yes. This is more than like 12 states, something like that. Yeah. So imagine, without Haiti, the U.S. wouldn't have had all these 12 states. You see, Haiti, Haiti is the reason for the purchase of Louisiana. And that's why when you go to New Orleans, they know that they have this state because of Haiti. And the culture there is also an Haitian culture. So that's another reason. And I'm going to tell you why Haiti inspired countless of other fights for freedom around the globe. Now, if you're talking about Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador, they kind of use Haitian national flag, a customized version of the Haitian national flag. Do you see what that means? They love what we did so much that we inspired their flag. Now, if we look at Haiti was the first country to provide a safe haven for all former slaves and for current slaves who needed protection. Haiti financially and morally supported revolutionaries such as Simon Bolivar, the leader who led Venezuela, Bolivia, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, and Panama to independence. We helped them. And interestingly enough, Venezuela's flag was created and first flown in Jacmel in Haiti in 1806. Drapeau Venezuela, premier côté le levé, c'est en Haïti à Jacmel en 1806. Ouais, que Venezuela te reconnaissant et ça fait un bon programme Petro-Caribé. Yeah. Très reconnaissant envers nous-mêmes. Nous aidons en pile. Yes, so if you talk about Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador, all these countries, we impacted them so much with our history. So Latin America owes so much to Haiti. Et ça fait qu'il y a plusieurs côtés où aller, ou pas besoin de visa pour aller là yo, en Latin America. Et il y a un pile nan yo tout qui nan rue yo qui porte nom ancien président haïtien. And the last thing, Haiti's model was pure strength and perseverance. Truly look like true strength and perseverance. C'est pas pour dire, you guys need to understand that Haiti was hard pressed. They did not give it to us. We had to fight for it. And Haiti was forced to pay friends 90 million francs. 90 million francs is equivalent to 21 billion US dollar in today's money. Do you see that? We had to pay them $21 billion so they could accept to recognize us as a legitimate country. Imagine qui ça comme ça te fait. Pour un petit pays, Haïti son point lié, m'dou. État nous il a fait 9 fois Haïti, Haïti son petit point. So on prend $21 billion juste pour reconnaître nous parce que nous étions tellement bas au problème nous craser commerce monde là. Yo chiton monsieur ça a tellement vinn senti yo c'est yo bay problème yo chiton côté y a libéré esclave depuis un esclave qui dans bateau pour l'autre côté haïtien libéré yo. Haïtien t'a bay liberté, symbole liberté partout dans le monde. Et of course. Et ça fait petit groupe monsieur ça yo rend yo compte tout que sous besoin toujours kembe différence ça gain de classe entre blanc avec blanc petit groupe monsieur ça faut faire attention avec eux parce que l'encens yo question freedom dans l'encens yo. Non, Haiti représente un pile pour monde là. Et monde là comme ça. Et m'vle nous-mêmes, young Haitians who are living here in the United States of America, to know that your country has contributed so much, not only to America, but to the world, and to you as black. And you, we, Jodia, there is not much for us to be proud of, especially Jean Bagay yo prale nan pays la ki fait nous mal en pile. But we need to know that almost all of what we see right now in Haiti has been manufactured, has been prepared for it to be the way it is. You know, it has been a big and systematic fight against this country because of what this country represents for black, because of what this country represents for strength, for freedom. You cannot separate these two words, freedom and Haiti. They go together. Thank you. His presentation, we take the questions after. Oh, I don't know. Okay.
I don't know about you, but I'm proud to be Haitian, Brother Douglas. We have the best history ever. And I don't think they could suppress that history forever. They tried. As Dr. Douglas was talking, I was thinking how in the 80s, one of the things that they accused us of, this was during boat people, immigration, they were saying that we brought AIDS in this country. All kinds of nonsense. But they can't keep doing that. So I think that this story is coming out. So there's a lot of documentaries that are showing that. But when Dr. Douglas presented that, he did it in a way that shows us how powerful the country is, that we were privileged, it's a privilege to carry that blood in our system. For me, I'm just going to talk very briefly about the situation of blacks in prison health, but specifically in the prisons. I don't know if, well, Panel, do you have the, yeah, it's all the way at the bottom. I just have two slides. Yeah, that's the, well, yeah, one right before that, I think. Oh, yeah, that's the first one. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, so just two slides. So, you know, talking about Haiti and our history is more interesting to me personally than prison. You know, why prison? And is there even any health in prison? Well, first of all, any of us can end up in prison. Do we think that we're so, that there's anything about us that makes it impossible for us to end up in prison? We can end up in prison, right? They can stop you and throw you unjustly in prison. So only by the grace of God are we not locked up, okay? Now, I have a little bit of experience in the prison system because I worked there for 10 years of my life, 10 years. And so let me tell you a little bit about my background working in the prisons in this country, and then I'll share with you a few facts and we'll open up to questions, okay, that you can ask Dr. Douglas and myself, you know, a panel discussion. But first of all, I was working in private practice in Alabama. So happened to be the state where Martin Luther King was and many people, Rosa Parks, the civil rights, a lot of things happened in Alabama. I was in Montgomery, you know, we visited Birmingham, Alabama, where there were, you know, fires and all kinds of problems, a lot of racism. But I happened to work there in private practice, and one day someone asked me, I prayed, I said, God, I feel like I need to change directions besides just working in prison. Besides working in, you know, in the hospital, my clinic, is there anything else I could do? And when I opened up my eyes after praying, I saw a little note that said, would you like to work in the prison system? As I opened up my eyes, I saw this little pamphlet on my desk. I don't know how it got there, but I always wanted to do something in the prison system, always. So when I saw that, I said, yes. So they said, if you're interested, call this number. I said, who's going to answer me? But, you know, it's there. I don't know how the pamphlet got there in the first place, so I called this number, and my first shock was someone answered that call. Second shock, it was a doctor. Third shot, they said, come on over, we'll hire you to work. Instantly, boom. I said, wow, God has a plan for me. So first of all, I said, hey, do you want me to come over right now? I just called this. I saw this number. They said, no, come right now. So Yantai and I, were you there, Yantai? We just got up and went there. And so we saw this doctor named Dr. McQueen, and she said, would you like to work as a doctor in this prison? I said, sure, I've always been interested in this. And she says, you get to start. I said, when? She says, now. I said, okay, that's not bad. So to make a long story short, you know, I started to work in the system. One of the hardest things I ever did, but this was in Alabama. I started out working as a regular physician in four prisons in Alabama, taking care of over 4,000 inmates that were locked up, many of them black, perhaps most of them black. Yes, there were whites, Chinese, different people, but by the majority were definitely black. And my job was to provide health. I'll tell you, in that experience in Alabama, miracles happened through my hands. Not me, but through me. I was able to do eye surgery, and I'm not an eye surgeon. I'll talk to you about how they use blacks in prison. So the kind of jobs they did, their fingers could be cut off. I did plastic surgery on their hands. A little violent, stabbings, so I would suture people up. If it was too critical, send them to the hospital, but we try to have a hospital right in the prison. A lot of things happened. Then after 2 weeks, the medical director, a physician who had been there after 2 weeks, he says, I'm leaving this job. You can take it. I said, take what? He says, be the medical director of all these people. I said, I don't even know my job as a... They said, no, I'm leaving this. I've been here for a while. You're it. I said, well, praise God, I'll do my best. So I became the medical director. I was in charge of making decisions for these 4,000 prisoners. Just when I started to get my bearing and trying to learn the ropes, a doctor said, one of the higher ups, hey, do you want to be the regional medical director for several states in America? I said, I'm still learning this little job here, and it was a big job in Alabama. He says, yeah, but it's time to move up. I said, well, I'm not ready. She said, so what? You still need to move up? We think you're ready. I said, okay. I said, what am I going to do? She said, the first thing you're going to do is you have to move. I said, where to? We're settling in Alabama. I says, you have to move to Tennessee, Nashville. So Yunta and I, we said, okay, praise God. Sometimes you have to praise God, right, when he tells you to do things. So, and then I said, what? So then it got a little tricky because our office, I was at the corporate office, but I had to work in prisons. None of them were in the state of Tennessee. Can you imagine living somewhere, but working in Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Pennsylvania, Michigan? What that means is I lived in one place, but I was in the plane traveling every week or every other week, visiting different prisons in our nation. What was God doing, though? God was preparing me to see with my own two eyes and my experience what's really happening to the invisible world of prison. Why do I say invisible? Do you think about prison every day? No. You think about school, you think about work, you think about bills, you think about the gym, you think about anything, but we forget about all the prisons around us. My job was to travel, so I would travel, let me tell you, even though I didn't live in North Carolina before I ever moved here, I would go to supervise the jail in Greensboro, High Point. I would go to jail by Atlanta, Savannah. When I went to Savannah, I got to see the monuments of the Haitians that fought for this country. So we would go to Savannah. We would go to Arlington. I had a jail there, and sometimes Yanta would bring Yanta with me sometimes there. Portsmouth, where Ray Charles was born, the musician there. Where else? Michigan, etc. So we would see all the jails, one in Charleston, South Carolina. My job was to see what the doctors in prison was doing. I was supervising them. After about 2 years, I said, hey, you know, I'm getting this. I was in management, you know, the boss, this, that. I was getting happy. They said, well, we have something else for you. I said, what? They said, you're going somewhere else. I said, where? They said, to Kansas. I said, where's Kansas? I don't know where Kansas is. New York, maybe. Miami, maybe, but Kansas. They said, no, there's a need there. We want you to be the medical director of the entire state of Kansas. I said, get out of here. We're not going to do that. They said, no, there's a calling. You got to do it. So we went, Ty and I, we moved again, and we saw the situation. So that's my background. I was working and supervised over 20 jails and prisons. Let me tell you the difference between jails and prisons. If they lock you up, or someone speed drive, whatever, you end up in prison. First you go to jail. Okay, that's where it's a detention center. Once you're sentenced, then you go to a prison. You've been sentenced. But before you're sentenced, you may go into jail for a week, 2 weeks, 3 months, sometimes even a year, but it's not permanent. But once you've gone through the court system and you're found guilty and sentenced, then you may go to a prison. Jail, temporary, prison is a longer stay. Jails and prisons. So I worked in both of them, but in Kansas they said to go to work and supervise all the prisoners, all 10,000 of them in Kansas. Also, when you see DOC, Department of Corrections, that's prison, any DOC. So for Alabama, where I worked before, ADOC stands for Alabama Department of Correction, that's prison. Michigan, MDOC, Michigan Department of Correction, etc. Okay, Alabama Department of Corrections. So the first letter of the state with DOC, whereas jails have different names in High Point, Greensboro, etc. Next slide. We'll end with this last slide. I'm just going to give you a few points that I've observed. Number one, when you work in that system, you realize that there are way more blacks than whites, 5 times more blacks than whites. The problem is there are more people in prison, period, in America. So United States is only 5% of the world, so this is a big country. But we have, of all the prisoners in the entire world, Russia, India, Haiti, Japan, we have 25% of all prisoners on the planet here. So when I say that the prisons and jails are invisible, I mean they're all around us, but we don't have time, we're busy. But they're there. So my job was to go to the different prisons and jails. Some of them are isolated, many of them are a little outside the city because people get scared, but really there's a lot of prisons and jails and detention centers. So we have 1/4 of all the prisoners in this system here in America. So it's a terrible system, and 5 times more of them are black. Disproportionate amount of minority and blacks. So there's a great disparity there. I'm going to say something that's sad. Many people in my shoes realize that this is modern day slavery. Modern day slavery. Why? Economy. Just like Haiti was very prosperous for France with sugar, coffee, right? Black slaves here in America really was helping the industry in the southern states, etc. And when slavery was abolished, do you think people were happy? No. They said, okay, you're no longer slaves according to the law and the Constitution, but we can make you slaves in a different way. What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the Constitution. Let's relook at the 13th Amendment. Can we go into one little detail? Then I'll be finished. We'll ask questions. The 13th Amendment. I'm going to read to you the 13th Amendment to the Constitution. Here's what it says. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, you know, all these people, once you're free, you're free. So abolishment of slavery, except, here's the exception, the loophole, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall be duly convicted. Are you following me? following the amendment to the Constitution, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction, meaning you have protection. You're not a slave anymore, black or whatever, you're free, except if you're found to be a criminal. So it's the criminalization of behavior, including drugs, including mental disease. Oh, go to the prison, go to the jail, unfairly. That's why there are so many blacks. And once we are in prison, because it's my brothers there and sisters in prison, then they have you do free labor. Free. Work on the highway, do this, do that, no protection, because you are, even the Constitution doesn't protect you because you are a so-called criminal. So that's the loophole. That's why there are so many people behind bars in this modern day slavery. That's why when I took care of them in the medical, can you imagine, some of them shouldn't be there at all. Are there crimes? Yes, everyone commits crime, black, white, drugs, but sometimes the problem isn't just a crime. Sometimes it's rehab, right? Sometimes you need to educate, put them in a center. Sometimes it's a psychotic illness. Sometimes it's treatment that they need in a different setting, not in prison for 10, 15 years. That's not the solution. And so whenever I saw someone who had the same pain job as me, it was my ministry to help them, to reach out to them. And I was always blessed by doing this work. For Christ says, I was in prison and you visited me. So we're going to end in that. There's something called deliberate indifference, and I'm not going to even go into that detail, but there was a time up until recently where if a black and sometimes even a poor white person was thrown in jail, no health care. They could torture you, beat you, and they would say, the law, so what? There's no protection for you once you're in prison. It was a nightmare. Rape people, women, all kinds of stuff. So fortunately now there are laws called deliberate indifference, where if you're not providing enough care, it's called cruel and unusual punishment, and you could be sued for that. So now this is a very litigious environment, fortunately, where one has to now be a little bit careful, because with civil rights and people looking at what's happening, I looked at things happening. If I saw that something was irregular, they heard from me, because God put me in that position, and no one could get away with things under my watch. And there are many other doctors in those positions of leadership that made a difference. Still very difficult. So what that means is we all should be visiting people who are locked up. Whether you know them or you don't, you should spend time, personal time, to visit our brethren, because we're accountable for that. So I'm going to stop here, and I guess you can ask us questions. We'll try to answer them.
Sorry, before we jump into the questions, Brother Parnell wanted to have a short video, like a 3-minute video. In fact, it talks about black and also prison. And after that, we're going to take questions. Thank you.
Name, please, sir.
My name is Archie Williams.
Then where are you from, Archie?
I'm from Louisiana.
Louisiana. Right, let's get to know you first of all, Archie, a little bit.
Okay. I was just incarcerated for 37 years for somebody else's crime.
Ooh.
DNA freed me.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
On the morning of December the 9th of 1982, a 30-year-old white woman was raped and stabbed in her home. I was arrested on January the 4th. I couldn't believe it was really happening. I knew I was innocent. I didn't commit a crime. But being a poor black kid, I didn't have the economic ability to fight the state of Louisiana. At the trial, none of the fingerprints at the scene matched mine. 3 people testified that I was at home. but they wanted somebody to pay. I was sentenced to life in 80 years without the possibility of parole or probation. I was sent to Angola State Penitentiary. It was classified as the bloodiest prison in the United States. You had a choice to either be strong or weak, you know, because you will be tried and tested. Days turn into weeks, into months, into years, and into decades. It's like a nightmare, you know.
37 years. How did you get through?
Freedom is of the mind.
Yes.
I went to prison, but I never let my mind go to prison. When, you know, you're faced with dark times, what I would do is I would pray and sing. This is how I got peace. You know, and when the Innocent Project took my case, I just kept hope that they will prevail. This new technology got me back in court. They was ordered to, you know, run the fingerprints in the database. And within hours, they matched the prints to a serial rapist. After 37 years, I was released on March the 21st, 2019.
How does it feel right now to be out, to be vindicated?
Man, it's a feeling I'm still trying to grab. I'm still trying to digest the freedom that I have right now. I watched America Got Talent in prison, and I would visualize myself being there. I always desired to be on a stage like this, and now I'm here. Thank God. I know it's my chance of a lifetime.
Worked in so many prisons that I forgot to mention that, and yet Ty probably remembers. I may have even met this man because one of the projects I had was to visit, as he said, the bloodiest prison in America. So in my position of traveling throughout the country, of course I went to Angola. And not only that, but they have perhaps, at the time, perhaps the largest number of people on death row. So I visited every one of them. So it's not impossible that I had seen him. Why? Because he said he was there for 30-some years. And I think I visited Angola maybe in 2010 or so like that. So he might have still been there. And if he were temporarily in death row, I would have seen him. So yes, Angola, that was one of the experiences that I had.
Yeah, I just wanted, so that's why sometimes we need to, I don't know, investigate about our brothers and sisters who are in prison and find a way to go and see some people, you know. And recently, me and Brother Parnell and Brother Desire, we went to visit our brother here in prison. And it was a very good experience for me, you know. For the first time I had been to a prison. When I saw him, you know, I was thinking about the scenario in which he was, you know. You cannot see your wife, you cannot see your children, you cannot see your friends, you cannot go out. And this guy has been in the prison for 37 years for a crime he has not committed. You guys imagine that? Yeah, Brother Desire want to say something.
Thank you for this presentation, and I wish that this place was full. And this presentation, that's something that needs to be presented in a, I would say, an arena, or the entire country should be an audience for this. And then it hurts me a lot watching this, not only seeing that guy, 37 years old, 37 years, being innocent. Okay, and being accused of something that you didn't do, you know how it feels. Not to say going to jail, to prison for a generation. I'm kind of speechless because, all right, something that was said, you said, I heard, it's, I think it is, I know it's another form of slavery, okay? And to me, I think it's a conspiracy to keep really our kind being subservient or second class. And then I know they have the solution. It's really mind-boggling to have like 25% of the prison population right here in a country where you have only 270 million people. Okay, it's really disproportionate, and something is fundamentally wrong. That's why I said it's a conspiracy. And then to me, the fact that the prison system, it's mostly funded by private money, it's even, I would say, it's criminal. It's really satanic, to say the least. Okay, my question is, all right, what's the fundamental problem of this? Where you think the problem comes from? Not to say too much about it.
Okay. It's a very complex question. Supremacy, that's the word that comes to my mind, white supremacy. So this is not an attack against another race as much as white supremacy. That's what it is. There's a fear that if you have a mass of very powerful people, be that black, be they Haitian, it's the same problem with Haiti. I mean, if a group of enslaved people could defeat the biggest army, including Napoleon, they're not going to be comfortable with that. So this is, and why am I saying that? Because when I worked in the prison system, I saw some very powerful individuals, intelligent. The best musicians that I saw were in prison, artists, accountants, business-minded people. Some of them ended up in drugs, yes, but very smart. You get a group of these people in society, and if people aren't comfortable with them, that's that. So that's one, fear of the other. Two is an economic issue too, where not only are there some people scared of us, and I'm talking about the white supremacists, period, but two, they don't want to invest in them. So when people say, make America great again, it's my country, we don't want immigrants, blah, 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 it's fear. Do you see what I'm saying? And so it's such a big problem that I don't even know what the complete solution is, but that's what I think it is, fear of the other, the power of the other.
Sorry, I don't want to say too much, but this I have to say. I was watching a documentary on 60 Minutes. It's regarding the prison system in Germany. The system is designed for the inmate. Whenever that inmate comes out of the prison, it's to be a better person, yes, a better citizen. It's to, you go to jail, to prison, to be rehabilitated. Okay, you pay your crime, yes, but you come out as a better person, a productive individual. Here, in this place, you come out as a core criminal. Your life is destroyed. You cannot find a job. You cannot vote. You have no right. You are less than a dog. Okay? So, to me, in this so-called great nation, where you find the most horrible crime that they place on top of a pedestal for everyone to see, it's purely evil. Sometimes we think that we think in a way of superficial, thinking that, oh, this black people, that, we don't behave this, we behave that. But there is a deeper problem with that. And then the behavior that we criticize, it's come from something else that they have created. So we are trapped no matter what. And then for us young people, we have to be aware of it, so we don't fall into that trap. We do something innocent, a lot of like speeding or something, we infringe the law, and it's the end of your life. You have a record. No matter what you did, once you go fill an application, you said you've been arrested, you ask you more questions, and then you're done. There is no more dream for you.
Yeah, and so when that happens, if you're not the type of person that goes to the prison and visit, which we should, you might find some people who have left prison who are looking for an opportunity, including humanity. I think now that we saw this clip, and I agree with you, Brother Emmanuel, we should be the people that talk to them and give them a chance the best we can. Very important. One of the worst things that I saw working all these years is when someone had left the prison and they came back. I would see the same person coming back. That was terrible. So yes, the system isn't to make people better. Some people argue it's to make them worse and to keep them away. The only other thing I wanted to say, as Brother Emmanuel was talking, is if you get a chance, your homework, please look at, there is in Netflix now a documentary called 13th, after the 13th Amendment, on prison. Has anyone looked at that before, 13th? So if you get a chance on Netflix, if you have that, or there may be on other, it's just called 13th. It's again on the 13th Amendment and the whole history of incarceration in this country, including blacks. So it'll put everything that you're saying in the conspiracy in good perspective. President Barack Obama speaks in that. One of the companies I used to work in is mentioned in that documentary. It's probably the best that I've seen.
Yes. I wanted to say something. I think everything, like talking about Haiti, black history, prison, they work together. There's an association. And when you look at back in history, I think all the things, like the fact that you see so many black people in the jail system, it has to do with what we have done in the 1960s when we fight for freedom, And after that, they wanted a way to kind of like, the question was, how come they did this revolution? Who financed this revolution? So how can we find a way for that not to be repeated? Since they realized it was the family, it's family that financed that revolution, they wanted a way to kind of first destroy the family, the black nuclear family. These are things in history written, you can read them. And another thing was that to criminalize drugs, like even if you have like very little amount of drug, they criminalize that. Marijuana is criminalized, all these things. And also go ahead and put the drugs in the black community. They first put the drug in the black community, criminalize it. Once they find you with the drug, they put you in jail. Once you are in jail, you get out, and social security number is, everything is connected. Now they see that you've been in jail, you can no longer go to work, and now you won't have enough money, and now you cannot finance revolution the way you finance revolution in the 1960s. They've done that in the 1970s, and they prepare everything. It's documented, things that you can read. And I think it's the fear of the order, as you just mentioned. It's the fear of the order. It's satanic. It's from Satan. Only Satan can do something like that, And that's why you see a country of 330 million people, the richest country on earth, yet you have that many people in prison and slavery in your system. It is a problem. It's a problem. When you see Japan, you see all these other countries, like they don't have this problem that we have. And the fact that is disproportionately more black, we only have 13% of the population here is black. 13% is black out of that 330 million people, but yet in the prison system, you see that many black, there is a problem. It's not random. It was manufactured. It was decided. So, and I think as long as we have something to do, as Dr. Kobe just said, we have our role to play. Even if we do not have people in jail, we need to find a way to help them reinsert the society, reinsert society. If we ever know somebody who was in jail, when that person is out, find a way to help the person. But even if we do not know somebody, but we can always come up with programs where we go to prison, reach out to people and pray, find a way to help. I think that's what we can do.
That's a good point. Some people are scared to go into the jails and prisons, but yes, the halfway houses, these are transitions. It's called reentry, progressive entry into society. So you can even work there, volunteer, do things with people that have gotten out, looking for a job, looking for skills, and that'll make you gratified. One thing too is, as they were talking, Dr. Doulas, is it's amazing, the land of the free, right? That's why we're fighting for Ukraine, freedom. Do we have freedom? Well, some people do, but I can tell you a lot of people don't. So it's a contradiction. Who had their hands? Oh, yes, sister, go ahead.
Moi, dis merci avec Dr. Paul et Dr. Doulas pour façon que nous présenter bagay Black Story ça. Question que m'a posée. Je ne jodi pays nous a fait face avec une situation qui est vraiment critique et nous t'ai aidé les États-Unis pour joindre pour te gagner freedom yo. Est-ce que je ne jodi un problème que nous avons confronté? Est-ce que United States n'est pas un acteur dans le problème pays nous?
Ok. Si nous regardons effectivement, ok, nous dans l'Amérique, là, Haïti dans le Caraïbe, là, tout près là, mais États-Unis, une et demi de nous, ok. Oui, en quelque sorte, pour deux raisons. Première raison, 3 ou 4 ou 5, 10 raisons, ok? Bon, m'a juste bon deux. 1. De 1915 jusqu'à 1934, c'était une occupation américaine. Les messieurs ça rentré en Haïti, à l'époque, c'était l'or qui était back par dollar américain, qui était main monnaie qui était servi. Ils sont rentrés dans la Banque centrale d'Haïti, ramassé depuis c'est l'or que nous avons gagné, toute bagaille net, ok? Prends, pillé un petit pays qui était déjà pillé déjà par la France, qui était déjà pillé déjà par l'Espagne, qui était déjà pillé déjà par l'Angleterre. Est-ce que ça me dit là? Donc, déjà, ça son premier acte de vol, ok? Et puis, pendant 19 ans, ça, recoloniser, détruire, etc. Donc, ça, c'est une première forme d'exploitation que nous connaissons dans l'histoire. 2. La participation active dans les élections et dans les décisions haïtiennes. Ça a encore une fait États-Unis coupable. C'est les États-Unis qui décident qui est-ce qu'il y a président en Haïti, pas même le peuple. Donc, ça a encore montré effectivement qu'il est coupable. Troisième bagaille encore, le fait même que les États-Unis, c'est la police du monde, vous parlez de la police du monde, quel que soit le pays qui gagne, les États-Unis presque gagnent et armé tout autour, et les États-Unis ont aidé, ils fait que ça de 100 billion dollars, 100 billion dollars pour aider l'Ukraine qui est en guerre. Même moi-même, moi, j'étais dans le document ça, un document DSNCRP, document national pour la réduction de la pauvreté en Haïti, qui écrit, document ça a été fort qu'on est à l'époque, en 2017, nous avons besoin de 4 billion dollars pour éliminer la pauvreté en Haïti. Ou besoin seulement 4 billion dollars. Les États-Unis me disent, ça dépenser 100 billion dollars pour l'Ukraine en guerre. Donc, si plus grand pays dans le monde là, à qui nous t'ai aidé pour l'indépendance, t'es une volonté pour réduire la pauvreté ou même éliminer la pauvreté, là, nous t'ai fait ça. Vous comprenez? Donc, c'est pour répondre à la question.
Oui, tu as pensé même à l'assassinat de Jovenel Moïse. Nous gagnons ambassade en Haïti, Amérique, tout ça. pas une présence américaine aucune. Donc oui, je suis d'accord avec le docteur. Si vous voulez faire un bagage, vous avez fait. Et la drogue, on a parlé de gang, tout ça, mais d'où viennent tous ces armements, ceci, cela, à travers ce domaine? Donc, je ne peux pas dire ça, mais il y a l'autre intérêt tout. Comme le docteur Doyle a dit, il voulait positionner les gens qui ont élu. Ce n'est pas le peuple qui a élu les gens, c'est les États-Unis pour propre intérêt par eux. Malheureusement, ça c'est très dommage. Oui, pour panel. Toujours de l'espoir quand même.
Solution? Non. Je n'ai pas grand-chose à dire. C'est que pour moi, le cas d'Haïti est désespéré. Il n'y a pas de solution. Il n'y a pas de porte de sortie. Il y a de l'espoir.
Il y a de l'espoir. Bon, ok.
Mais qu'est-ce qu'on fait? Ok, sœur Myrta. Mais qu'est-ce qu'on fait de ce que la Bible a dit? Nous vivons la fin de l'histoire de l'humanité. Est-ce que le cas d'Haïti n'entre pas dans le cadre des prophéties bibliques? Ça, c'est ma question.
Oui, même pas penser que Dieu t'a remis que mon mourir entre-temps avant sa venue. Vous comprenez donc, je crois que oui, il y a la prophétie, mais en même temps, what can we do? Est-ce que nous gagnons part de responsabilité? Encore, regardez ce que les États-Unis font. Vous voyez combien? 100 billions de dollars. En attendant, donc je crois qu'il y a quand même des choses qui doivent être faites. Diaspora, il y a une responsabilité que nous gagnons tous en tant que peuple haïtien. Nous devons un peu plus unis entre nous et faire programme. Nous ne devons pas trop dépendre de l'autre monde qui n'a pas intérêt nous dans tête. Vous comprenez? Canada, France, les mêmes personnes qui volent toute bagaille, ce n'est pas eux qui aident nous. Donc nous devons organiser entre nous avec l'aide de Dieu. Mais quand même si nous l'entendons la femme, quoi que y a des bagages qui sont tellement urgents que nous devons organiser. Premièrement, nous devons comprendre la situation et nous devons faire au moins quelque chose ensemble. Unis-nous.
Parce que toujours il y a espoir. Ça, nous devons partir sous base ça, aussi longtemps que la vie, il y a espoir. Et je pense que le problème Haïti, côté le vin un genre difficile, c'est parce que même du point de vue spirituel, nous marrer pour pied nous. Donc Dieu pas mettre grâce sous grâce, son même toujours dit ici. Et que yon bagay haïtien fait plus dans la caille nous, the average person en Haïti, li gon ti mouchoir rouge dans poche li tout viré tourner ka ougan, gentil fi ka ougan pour nèg, ti garçon ka ougan pour sécurité. Tout le monde pral travailler dans l'état ou besoin de protection, mon nan besoin rentrer dans maçon, mon entrer dans ceci, mon entrer dans cela. Gen trop spiritual prostitution, gen trop spiritual pollution, gen trop ti bagay nan kafou, gen trop tout bagay sa yo vinn marrer les mains de Dieu pour l'intervenir pour ou. Sou li Esaïe 34. De pour fin li Esaïe 34 ou doit ouais Haïti. Bonne mission l'enriver la nous en li Esaïe 34 pour ka ouais Haïti. C'est n'après parler côté pays à côté que Dieu a dit, car la colère de Dieu se fonde sur toutes les nations et sa fureur, etc. La parole de qui Jean pays a délaissé, qui Jean grain par grain moun yo pralé. Moi je te fais prêche là côté n'a parole qui Jean the land can spit you out. Tellement que des séries de vieux bagailles ou fait sur lui. Nous jouons avec mort trop. Nous faisons ensemble de bagailles. So, position États-Unis gagne. États-Unis pas gagne seulement en face Haïti. C'est comme ça toute grande puissance toujours Pour le grand, en général, c'est comme ça les hommes sur la terre, il faut que un monde en bas ou peser. Donc, il pesait plusieurs, ok? Et en vent, tout notre grand empire qui était en vent, c'est qu'on a pesé plusieurs. Est-ce que ça me dit là? Donc, nous-mêmes, nous ne pas prendre emotionally, nous devons prendre strategically, et puis, well, tout non l'autre gens. Nous-mêmes, qui ça nous devons faire en tant que peuple pour nous éviter ce genre de bagages? Il y a l'autre peuple qui combat face avec grande puissance. Ça. Vous comprenez? Regardons petit peuple tout près de nous qui est petit. Vous connaissez les grandes Antilles, Cuba, Haïti, Jamaïque, etc. Cuba gourmet contre grande puissance des États-Unis. Cuba fait face avec grande puissance ça pendant longtemps. Cuba sont en bagot pendant longtemps. Mais le peuple cubain pas traîner dans la rue, genre le peuple haïtien traîner dans la rue. Je pense que nous pas qu'à jouer une faveur au Dieu pour intervenir pour nous, pour frapper pied pour nous. Aussi longtemps nous dans chaque cafou, n'a pas bagaille loi, n'a 10, n'a date, je n'a fait là. Yes.
Ill-minded, I'm sorry. I'm going to say something. Please don't judge me because I'm very upfront. That's how God created me. That mentality is even in the church. We don't like each other. You don't like me because I am a certain way. We cannot communicate properly, effectively. We have so many issues. That's why sometimes when I'm really, really deeply thinking about it, I don't see hope. Imagine Jesus Christ himself cannot change or transform the way we think, the way we do things among each other, the way we relate to each other. How we're going to change? We need transformation here first, individually, then collectively. I don't see hope. That's my opinion. Thank you.
Bon, moi-même, ça que m'a dit, moi-même, moins fière parce que moi haïtienne et me fière de nationalité. Mais un problème que le pays a confronté par l'autre et par l'autre bagaille que dirigeants nous sont pas responsables. Parce que un proverbe qui dit comme ça, et si chat pas là, rat apprend caille. Moi-même, je regarde, même dans nos nouvelles qu'on attendait, qu'on a parlé depuis ce qui concerne les pays, on toujours parlé de poorest country in the world, Haïti. Alors, je trouve ça c'est une insulte liée. Et pendant que même dans le pays, ça va rentrer, on pas quelle bonne bagaille requirement que mando pour faire un vent pour venir dans le pays. Et pendant yo même que vous prendre dans le pays yo te kou cabrit, cap gingolé que te ko n'a pas que pour aller. Ça veut dire que moi même m'ta remet pour dirigeant moun qui dans gouvernement yo pour yo responsable. Pour yo pas laisser te ko n'importe nation apporter dans le pays n'importe comment comme ça. Ça veut dire que tout bagaille gagne un principe. Yo supposé make sure que yo établi principe pays comme un pays qui est indépendant.
Oui, leadership très important too. Very true.
M'darième dit avant, excusez-moi. On connaît, ok. Ouais, on prend exemple. moi comme si prend une figure pour m'expliquer un bagage parce que les ça le plus rester dans tête monde. Sous par exemple virus VIH sida, right? Ou pour exemple comme ça pour juste pour me faire passer un point. L'homme qui a sida, quelque temps après, on vient voir mon a toussé, mon a diarrhée, mon a tout type de maladie. Mais ça vient gagner, ces virus là qui détruit le système immunitaire qui lui-même qui était là pour protéger pendant que le système immunitaire là pas là, il y a un ensemble d'infections, infections opportunistes qui profitent de l'absence de système immunitaire là pour attaquer lui et qu'on y a là le vulnérable à toute bagaille. OK. Ça passe ces pays nous tant que pays Haïti. Et ça fait toujours on est tant que Matéli, pilote président monsieur ça dans politique qui était dans musique des monde en pile le monde gagne pas même fait un bon moyen de qui c'est comme ça, c'est même logique infection opportuniste. C'est pas faute yo, vous comprenez yo. Parce que et politique ou bien économie ou bien bah ça yo, il pas marcher avec sentiment, il marcher ensemble avec mécanisme, système en place, structure. Amérique, qualité problème Amérique gagne, si Amérique pas de structure solide, Amérique t'écrasé déjà. Question problème race t'a écrasé Amérique, mais il t'a gagné une fondation solide sur laquelle le pays a été construit. Et fondation ça c'est lui même qui jusqu'à présent fait un ensemble de bagages. Donc mode type d'infection opportuniste ça yo, moi même relé monsieur ça yo, ou pas facile joindre ni comme ça ici. Donc une absence d'un système qui faut tout ça qu'a fait là yo a fait et il a continué fait aussi longtemps que pas un système qui est établi qui doit commencer d'abord par la justice parce que même dans la Bible le royaume de Dieu le chita sur la justice et l'équité. Tout système qui besoin commencer, il doit baser d'abord sur la justice et puis il doit avoir un bras de renforcement, d'enforcement de la justice qui c'est la police qui doit faire passer et faire respecter les lois. Moun doit commencer à respecter moun. En Haïti sous moto machine ou moun pilo ou dit mais monsieur pile monsieur moun n'a jou oui. Faut ou ta machine pas comme on fait dans machine ou pas vle pour moun pilo. Donc nous avons un problème de remer moun. Nous avons un problème de comprendre côté liberté me commencer, c'est la pauvre fini. Nous avons un ensemble de problèmes, OK? Mais il est toujours possible aussi longtemps que la vie, il y a espoir et le fait même que un ensemble de monde qui a quitté le pays a commencé à gagner room tout, il essaie de bagages qui pour faire. Commencer à gagner room, mais il doit commencer par une volonté manifeste, comprendre effectivement qui sont ce problème yo, mettre en structure et puis pour remettre les bagages en place. Toujours gain espoir. Une autre question. Il y a deux interventions.
Merci Potel.
Puisque c'est madame qui dit, moi, je vais dire que nous avons fait de l'as pour mourir. Et très important, et ce Noisette dit que pas d'espoir pour Haïti. Et quoique, d'accord que c'est bon Dieu qui est le dernier mot. Mais humainement parlant, où est que Haïti est coincé dans tout corner? Everywhere Haïti is cornered. Premièrement, nous avons un problème fondamental. En 1904, nous prenons l'indépendance. En 1806, nous tuons le leader. OK? Less than 10 years later, puis il y a divisé en deux parties. Nous avons un problème couleur, nous avons un problème black, nous avons un problème préjugé, nous avons un problème mulâtre. Et quand le pays a besoin d'avancer, toujours un problème de notre nation qui vient. Attention, attendez bien, étrangers qui quittent le pays pour pauvreté, ils viennent la caillou parce qu'ils ont pour clair, ils viennent tourner élite la caillou. Alors que même petit pays, ou condamné pour être en bas. Attendez, oui, ce n'est pas étranger de côté, non, qui mettent sous tête ou même qui mettent sous tête à cause de système, à cause de gens que ou pas apprécier ou pas ou qui ou pas réclamer, on peut dire que indépendance côté prend. Regardez Haïti Kounia. Qui est-ce qui met Haïti? Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire Haïti? Ou pas faut dire que les gens qui dans tête pays qui plus grand là c'est haïtien, il pas haïtien. Étranger, les qu'on fait venir ici, il finit avec 2 mains, 2 pieds. Et il fait la loi. Le problème que nous gagnons, on a parlé de dirigeants. Nous disons tout à l'heure que tout dirigeant que c'est américain qui mettait. Mais si que c'est un pays où il dépend de l'autre pays pour mettre un dirigeant pour ou pas une volonté pour faire changement qu'on besoin de changement. Tout changement c'est l'autre pays qui a baoulé. Non, là tout bagage ça qu'a fait. Avant de venir ça m'a dit, nous parle de diaspora. Est-ce que Haïti considère diaspora n'a aucun c'est dans la politique haïtienne? Seul c'est diaspora gagne c'est voyer l'argent. OK? So là tout aspect ça yo ou est que pas gagne soit pour Haïti. Tout à l'heure on mentionnait de Esaïe côté que pays nous fait trop macaque. Mais c'est pas Haïti seulement qui fait magie. Nous parlons de Cuba, mais Cuba c'est un pays communiste, les communistes pas déclaré un pays qui honore bon Dieu qu'il y est, mais la prospéré. Des grandes disciplines, des grandes structures. C'est-à-dire que le problème est complexe. Nous ne pouvons pas prendre une seule solution pour dire que mes problèmes à Haïti. Il est complexe, c'est tellement complexe que vous pouvez dire que c'est bon Dieu seulement qui a un mot avec lui. Dernier, je vais dire, frère de Rilas, que ce soit ça gagnant, parle dans la politique, please.
Yo ba mte vle di, ba connais si Dr. Kobi Gomba li vle ajouter, yo ba mte vle di c'est que et premier grain point au cité là, c'est source presque tout problème non. Et toujours sur même question fier de l'homme, toujours sur même question race là parce que leur indépendance non parce que faut pas oublier nous t'es un ensemble d'esclaves qui quittent en 1503 qui quittent un ensemble de pays en Afrique et puis yo mené yo vini dans colonie en vinn travail. Mais les esclaves ça vinn travail dans colonie hein. Gen blanc qui était là, qui ouais belle négresse nou yo, et puis yo fait petit avec yo. Petit ça vient relé africain et affranchi. Mulatto. Et même mulatto ça lui-même, li aimé papal, il était toujours voulu aspirer pour le semblant papal qui c'est blanc, mais le raï maman qui c'est esclave là. Donc mulatto ça lui-même il était toujours senti supérieur avec noir esclave là. Maintenant l'indépendance fin faite, qu'on y a là parce que blanc lui-même il pas jamais voulu ouais mulatto. Parce que Mulatto a senti le même genre blanc. L'indépendance vient faite qu'on y a là, Mulatto a participé dans l'indépendance, dans la bataille indépendance, Pétion, ton Mulat lui-même tout, etc. Donc, où vient gagner l'indépendance en 1804, 2 ans après, 1er janvier 1806, une bataille pété à Sibère, 12 km de Port-au-Prince. Et bataille ça va péter pour diviser le pays et c'est pour même raison ça toujours jusqu'à présent pays a la même bataille ça pays a le même problème ça groupe monsieur ça a fait mémise sur presque toute bagaille qui dans pays donc toujours même question de race etc. Mais contrairement à les États-Unis côté que en blanc yo pi plus 61% population jusqu'à 63% population aux États-Unis c'est des blancs 13% c'est des noirs, mais en Haïti lui-même, population générale net c'est noir, mais petit groupe moun sa yo k'ap dirige c'est blanc. Quand y a étranger ça yo frère parler c'est dans les années 60-70, gek te gen bolakayo problème qui gen bolakayo, Syrie, Israël tout l'autre côté. Yo couri quitter la kayo, vini la kay nous. Là yo vini la kay nous, affranchi pour blanc qui était dans pays nous. Geton wayo blanc yo même vle vinn faire zamita avec yo ouvert porte bayo etc. avait instauré tout par l'aide des Américains et puis nèg yo vinn rendre yo compte que yo vinn a fight pour même gâteau économique là yo pas ka séparer et puis yo vinn tomber dans division quand yo vinn jeune en don pays 3 groupes moun le peuple qui pi plus qui pi pauvre qui en bas ou joine et puis 2 groupes monsieur ça yo en l'air cap goumi entre yo yo pas jamais monter pouvoir mais c'est yo toujours gain pouvoir économique non mais yo. Donc ça vient mettre et pays à non dynamique effectivement comme si côté presque impossible pour pays à sortir parce que les classes dirigeantes pas gain intérêt dans pays. Donc il vient faire effectivement il vient très difficile et puis avec 2 autres gros monsieur la France, États-Unis, Canada, 3 autres gros monsieur ça yo qui toujours gain main mise sur ensemble de bagages. Donc il vient difficile vrai et c'est bon Dieu seul vraiment qui est capable de dire un mot pour nous sortir dans bagaille ça.
Amen. Très bien dit. Faut panel ou tirer la main ou bien.
Oui,
Et pour ne pas le finir,
Mme Davle dit un mot, tout coûte. La Bible dit clairement quand les fondements sont renversés, et juste là, qui ça l'a fait? C'est que Noé, depuis dans l'ancien Israël, lorsque le leader est fort, le peuple est fort. Et depuis le leader est faible, le peuple n'a pas campé sur absolument rien. Et il y a un peu de monde parfois qui c'est comme si que Noé, dans l'époque Jésus fait face avec un peu de problème social ça yo, que nous-mêmes n'a fait face dans la période que nous vivons là. Nous dans l'époque Jésus, Samaritain yo pas de relation avec Juifs et Jésus vient abolir genre de bagaille ça yo. C'est que dans la condition Haïti, ça que nous sommes capables de dire, c'est pour nous reconnaître que si Haïti révolté permet à ce que tout l'autre monde vienne gagner indépendance, si on quitte Haïti évoluer tout ça, là toujours un modèle pour tout l'autre pays. Eh bien, seulement façon peut-être préparer un modèle, c'est mettre en bas pied et puis faire payer pour ça qu'il fait à tout l'autre monde. Combien de monde peut-être qui était blanc qui remet esclave, est pas vrai? Ils remet voyer aller à gauche à droite, ils ont fait ça et voulu ensemble avec un esclave. C'est que nous ouais Jésus t'es pas de gens de bagaille ça yo. Mais la seule chose que noir ou blanc, riche ou pauvre, c'est pour nous reconnaître que nous avons un sauveur. Et sauveur, c'est Jésus. Et c'est deux bagailles qui ne sont pas capables de changer. C'est Dieu avec le mot changement qui déjà changé. Toute bagaille est capable de changer depuis c'est la volonté de Dieu. Que bon Dieu est capable de bénir.
Amen. Amen. Merci. Merci.
Oui, Gomba m'a dit un bail qui que me rappelé qui t'est passé dans l'histoire. Alors, des fois bon Dieu ne pas dit rien, il paraît pas dire rien, mais en fait, il gagne un beau jour l'a parlé comme j'avais dit avant, l'a dit arrêtez et sachez que je suis Dieu. Alors c'est sous ça pour nous compter, même si nous voyons que cas Haïti désespéré, mais nous pas jamais connaît qui ça a passé un jour parce que mon Dieu gagne le lit. M'a songé qui Jean Bonaparte, nous songé ça a fait tout c'est l'ouverture, il mettait le fort de jour et puis c'est ça on gagne un monde qui rédige en bas il dit et dans un sombre cachot au fort de jour en France languissait un vieux noir qui admirait l'univers, etc. Alors c'est là où tu mettais, et il y en a là encore, et tout c'est l'ouverture. Vous mettez là. Maintenant, qui ça nous qui vient faire après? C'est là tout c'est l'ouverture. Tu un côté qui frette. Il n'est pas habitué à frédir parce que c'est en Haïti, pays chaulier. Quelques rares côtés fret quand coquin scoff et puis forêt des pins, mais en général, Haïti son pays chaud. Et lui-même, il mettait là, subi un bagaille là, un côté qui très fret. Eh bien, il parle, les combats, il dit, et Bonaparte, ton cœur n'est pas le cœur d'un père, puisque Dieu t'a fait roi des faibles et des puissants. Pourquoi ne veux-tu pas que l'Africain prospère? Bonaparte, rends-moi ma femme et mes enfants. Donc, il était séparé. Et puis, qui ça vient passer après? Ça vient passer Bonaparte. Eh bien, Bonaparte, c'est un côté chaud, Il te mettait Toussaint l'ouverture, un côté qui fret. Toussaint pas habitué à avec bagaille et fret comme ça au fort de jour. Et puis lui-même qui côté al mettait lui et nous songeons côté où te mettait là, elle mettait un côté qui très chaud. Il n'est pas habitué à la chaleur. Donc Toussaint a subi et Frédu, lui-même a subi chaleur. Et là, il dit, Dieu Tout-Puissant, tu m'as vaincu. Donc il vient reconnaître la puissance de Dieu. Donc nous-mêmes n'avons pas besoin de peur pour Haïti. On le, tout le monde ça yo ka dit quand est Jean et qui j'en ai là nous ça dit encore et Bonaparte, Jean Bonaparte te dit yo même encore ya preuve que bon Dieu gagne la victoire sur yo. Bon Dieu correspond avec yo parce que et bon Dieu ouais que yo pas doit faire peuple là connaître misère comme ça. Maintenant même si certains monde dans peuple là ba yo pied parce que y a des gens qui ouvre porte ba yo qui fait mode bagay sa yo. Mais un jour comme j'avais dit tout à l'heure, bon Dieu a dit yo arrêtez et sachez que je suis Dieu. Je domine sur les nations. Je domine sur la terre. On nous compte sur Dieu.
Amen. Amen.
Ok, c'est la dernière question à poser. Question par moi, c'est concernant la prison. Pas que grand monde qui j'aime faire plan pour tendre à faire prison ni pour ta femme. Si nous ça pas malheur, nous ta un monde qui dans prison. Qui premier démarche nous t'a supposé faire? Parce que nous comprenons ou présenter nos monde dans prison, mais si nous ta un monde dans prison, qui ça nous t'a supposé faire? Et puis conseil nous connaissons toujours by tout jeune yo, la police reto ou pas en pile. Pas argumenter, pas essayer avocat tête. Ça nous connaissons ça. Mais nous-mêmes étant que si et nous-mêmes y aurait ou bien si c'est nous-mêmes y t'a arrêté, qui ça nous supposé faire? Premier bagage nous t'a supposé faire. Si t'as arrêté nous comme si nous parlons en gel parce que nous comprenons la différence en gel en prison. Avait dit si nous parlons en gel, qui ça nous supposé faire?
Donc, un bagage c'est que nous devons connaître la loi du pays. Donc, nous avons quand même des protections qui garantissent. Donc, si nous arrêtons, ou bien Timoun nous arrêtons, il est très très important que nous connaissions la loi du process, qu'il y a un système, et même trouver un bon représentant avocat. Donc, il y a un avocat dans le système là qui n'est pas très compétent. Donc, dans ce cas, ça, il est très important de une connexion avec un avocat qui comprend le système là, qui peut aider. Et très important que nous tous nous préparions parce que n'importe quand Timounio cap arrêté, malheureusement nous dans le système ça, donc nous devons préparer mentalement, mais il est très important que nous ayons une connexion avec avocat dans le système ça. Donc c'est un conseil que nous avons donné, mais en même temps nous devons prendre précaution nous pour Timounio apparence parce que déjà il y a un pile préjugé et tout. Donc, il est très important que Timounio très respectable. Si vous arrêtez, que vous pas résiste, etc. Donc, il y a une façon que vous devez comporter pour pas que bagaille vienne pire. Mais quand même, nous devons connaître que nous avons un droit à une protection et parfois nous devons compter sur avocats qui comprennent le système là. Même quelques cas très très difficiles, même quand ça, si ce n'était pas pour DNA, peut-être il tape toujours en prison tout. Et nous devons garder foi nous en Dieu parce que parfois nous n'avons pas 100% contrôle réellement. Donc nous devons compter sur Dieu.
Hello, si nous avons tout le monde qui a commencé avec nous, rejoindre nous s'il vous plaît. Parce que nous avons un quiz, nous avons quelques gift cards, nous voulons buy. Si pas de monde qui là, nous prenons tout dans la veille. OK. All right.